Okay, I want to say shalom to everyone. Thank the Most High for this Sabbath. I'm going to come at you all with a very detailed lesson today. I thought I would just go ahead and put it out publicly. Due to there wasn't anyone that signed up for the class, but that's okay. I'll put it up for the public to view, and it's probably better this way anyway, because this information that I'm going to get into is very important when it comes down to words. I know some of us, we look at words, we pay attention to, some of the details like compound words, just based on what we were taught, in school. But what I bring forth is a little different than, most people. I bring forth the esoteric understanding, which means there will only be a certain amount of people that will probably be able to bring forth information of this magnitude. Not saying that I'm, better than anybody else, but I just take time and, I don't have, too much, a lot going on when it comes down to outside, outside stuff. So, I kind of like, I'm an analytic, so I take my time on certain things, but I see the words. And based on what I'm going to get into, I'm going to bring out the word today for this lesson. Class 1 is the word electricity. Now, electricity really have, it's so vast, and it's so vast with understanding. It will be this particular word here will be at least 2 classes full. Now, we all understand, the word electricity, right? So just based on that, I'm just going to write this out, right? Okay. And I'm going to show you, see, what we have to understand when it comes down to the Bible itself. The Bible itself is not for everybody. And it's to the point where we got to know that what I'm about to bring forth could step on some people's toes as well, right? And just bear with me. I want to make sure this is very clear, all right? So, of course, you see the word electricity, right? Electricity. Now, you're going to see the word elect there and the word city. You got to ask yourself now, how would they know how to make this word here? Now, mind you, this is what I want to make clear in this particular lesson here. This is biblical based, and I'm going to make this very clear. The so-called African Americans in America, okay, the so-called Haitians and all the other names that the minority groups are called are the children of Israel, okay? I want to make that very clear in this particular video right now, or live feed. Everything is based off what they were given from the beginning, which was the Hebrew language under Eber, okay? The Hebrew language is the oldest language of all other languages. Everybody else tell you this was here first, the Arabic was that. Nah, it's the Hebrew. It's the Phoenician Hebrew, not the Yiddish stuff that I'm seeing that's being posted on Google. Okay, not the Yiddish / Judaism Hebrew. The Yiddish is the Jewish language that a lot of people are posting, but I'll go into that another time. Now, Hebrew is the oldest language. The Hebrew people were giving this language. The Most High chose them above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Now, having said that, that's Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Now, I'm not trying to, of course, everyone is included, but I have to make sure we understand the foundation in which I'm about to speak on where other words come from. Other words come from the English, the Hebrew language. I don't care if it's English, I don't care if it's Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Farsi, whatever. All the other languages stem off of the Hebrew language. Okay, so that's pretty clear. And of course, when I go on with these lessons, I'm going to show you the similarities of different symbols of the Hebrew language, the symbols on and how the actual symbols come about from other languages and how they used it. Okay, so that'll be another time. Now we got two words here in the word electricity, but that is a very big, deep word there, electricity. So we understand when you look up the definition for electricity, is, like I said, I want to make this very clear and kind of easy on this first lesson. Now, what I did was I took the direction from the word electricity based on the body itself. I mean, a man can make a light bulb. Okay, we can do certain things from the, lightning. Okay, we understand that man used this earth for his well-being and resources, so he can manage to live. We understand that. How does the body make electricity? All right, now I'm going to go into an article, and it's going to blow your mind when I go through this. Okay, how does the body generate, or how does the body make electricity, and how does it use it? All right, so now remember that I said there's a specific people in the world that was given the laws, the statutes, and commandments, and these particular people, of course, fell, but these particular people were given the Hebrew language from the beginning. All right, then we understand that. So I don't have to, constantly go over the same thing. Now, let me finish it. I'm going to read some excerpts of this article. All right. One moment. Now, the first part of this article, when it show us how electricity is, generated in the body. It says negativity is the natural resting state of your cells. It's related to a slight imbalance between potassium and sodium ion inside and outside the cell, and this imbalance sets the stage for your electrical capacity. Your cell membranes practice a trick often referred to as the sodium-potassium gate. Okay, I want you and see. This is the reason why I like to do these kind of classes, because certain words should pop out in your head. Sodium-potassium gate, G-A-T-E, like a doorway. Now, remember that the body is pretty much in similarities with the actual spirits, even how the earth is created, on how spirits there's doorways that they can come through to get into our realm. Okay, so there's not too much different from the body itself and what goes on in the miraculous edge, like space or the actual earth. There's nothing too much different. All right, so I want people to understand when you read certain things here, remember to think spiritual, and that's what these classes are for. Think like esoterical, which means, like I said before, there's only going to be a few people that will really be able to understand. Not to say that I'm better or anybody else is better than nobody, but everybody got their different gifts. Okay, your cell membranes practice a trick often referred to as the sodium-potassium gate. It is a very complex mechanism, but the simple explanation, which means they're going to try to put it in layman terms where they can understand it so we can read it. But the simple explanation of these gates and how they generate electrical charges goes like this. So now let me flip this page and we'll go through some information. Now, when I finish, it's going to really trip you out, and I'll let you know the reason why I put the word elect and the word city out, and electrical charge, electricity, those certain words. So just bear with me. And it says, at rest, your cells have more potassium ions inside the sodium ions, and there are more sodium ions outside the cell. Potassium ions are negative. So remember, I always tell people you have a negative, you got negative people. Now I have to do it that way so we can understand how this actually links into how we are anyway outside of the body itself. The body is just like how we react to certain things in the world. Okay. Potassium ions are negative, right? So the inside of the cells have a slightly negative charge. Sodium ions are positive. Okay, so you got some negative people. I'm just going to just so we can understand where I'm coming from. And then you're going to have some positive people as well. So the area immediately outside the cell membranes is positive. So you have, when it says so the area immediately outside the cell membrane is positive. So remember when I said that, when you read in Isaiah chapter 7 verse Isaiah 7 verse 5, the Most High created evil. Okay, he created evil just because that's just a part of energy. So I wanted to read this so we can understand, even based on their science, based on how they can understand the just the small amount how the body is and how complex it is. It's not even to the point where we can say that this is wrong, because we see in scripture that you can break down scriptures scientifically as well. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how this correlates with scripture, and I'll read some scripture. I got it. Trust me. Just bear with me. All right. So it says sodium ions are positive. So the area immediately outside the cell membrane is positive. There isn't a strong enough charge difference to generate electricity throughout in this resting state. So what I wanted to show, and it says sodium ions are positive. So the area immediately outside the cell membrane is positive. So that means it doesn't matter how many evil people in the world, the Most High wins at the end, basically. Okay, so just bear with me. Paragraph 2 here. When the body needs to send a message, really pay attention to this. When the body needs to send a message from one point to another, it opens the gate. It opens the gate. Now they're telling you, see, I have to keep stopping here because I love this type of information when I can read it on like another level. Like I said, I'm not better than anyone, but I just wanted to really itch this because I said a while back, I was like, man, I can't wait to put this information out, right? It opens the gate. So it's a doorway, just like portal. The sun goes through different portals. The moon goes through different portals, gates. So what is the difference between the body and the earth? Not too much. 90% water, 80% water in the land, like the oceans. And then, or the earth itself, the land mass is about 25% land mass. Just like your body, you got organs, 20% organs. And then the rest of your body is water. Okay, I hope y'all see that. All right, it says, and it opens the gates. When the membrane get open, sodium potassium ions move freely. Now, we understand that potassium ions are negative. Is considered a negative charge to the body, right? So when the Most High is trying to send you messages, now here comes Satan. Y'all getting, you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna read the paragraph again. When the body needs to send a message from one point to another, it opens the gate. So now there's messages being sent, right? When the membrane get open, sodium potassium ions move more freely and out of the cell, move more freely, toss to and fro. And I'm gonna show you the reason why I just said toss to and fro, like in Job, when Satan was allowed to tempt Job, and God, the Most High, asked Satan, like, what are you doing? And Satan said, I'm, going toss to and fro. He was up there lurking, looking around, looking for people to be able to taunt, okay, to cause them to kill themselves. But let me just finish. This stuff is hyping me up because I know exactly what this is really saying on a spiritual level. Okay, it opens the gate. When the membrane get open, sodium and potassium ions move freely into and out of the cell. Negatively charges potassium ions leave the cell, like I said before, attracted to the positive outside the membrane. So it's attracted to the positivity outside the membrane. It's attracted to the positive outside of the membrane, and positively charged sodium ions enter it, moving towards the negative charge. Okay, so positive energy, of course, is you know, you got positive and negative on the battery. They make energy. So a lot of people want to ask, well, why God create this, and why there's tornadoes, and why is mudslides, and why people whoremongering and sinning and all that. So it can bring forth the true essence of what man is really is, what man is really about. What can he be opposed to Adam, the anatomy of himself now. Adam blew it. He's like dust and dirt. So now what we have to realize is we have to be like the Most High. We have to be like Christ. Okay? Now, I'm going to just read this and hopefully I can get through more of this lesson. But like I said, this is class. It's going to be 90 days. So, you know, those of you that didn't sign up, you may probably like, oh, man, this is good information. Yeah. But like I said, this is cool. All right. Now, it says the results is a switch in the concentration of the two types of ions. So you got two types of ions, right? Now, let me just stop here. You notice that the word that you're using, ions. All right, let me just. Okay, not my words here, but see, I know exactly what they're really saying esoterically. Ions, right? Now, if you write the word ions backwards, you're gonna have Zion. Let me just show you. Okay, you're gonna have Zion. Now, let me just pull that up so you don't think I'm going crazy. Now, I may just read a few more excerpts of this. Matter of fact, just keep that in your head. I want to keep y'all focused on this right here. Okay. 1 minute. I'm gonna start with is the results is switched in the concentration of the two types of ions and rapid switch in charge. It's kind of like switching between 1 and 0. This flip between positive and negative generates an electrical impulse. This flip between positive and negative. Okay? Adam and Eve, they were positive. Everything was good. Then all of a sudden, Satan came in, attracted to them. You see that? Like negativity is attracted. Positive energy was attracted to Satan at the time because she ate up the fruit, gave it to her husband. It's the same. It's nothing different. And what happens is it flips between positive and negative. So now mankind is negative energy, opposed to how he was before. Right? This impulse triggers the gate. This impulse triggers the gate. Now, this is when Christ shall come in the last days. You triggered something. Hold up. The Most High got to send his son to come through the gate, this portal, through a woman, Joseph and Mary. Okay? Don't let people get you twisted on other stuff, but I'm going to just bring it out. He came just like man through the portal that the Most High sent as like a gate, a doorway to our realm for our sins. All right. So I'm just bringing out this regular old layman information so we can understand the manifest of the true essence of whoever wrote this article. A lot of people don't know when they write certain things, I can see past their flesh and follow exactly what they're talking about based on scripture. All right. This impulse triggers the gate on the next cell to open. The next cell to open. You have a family of 12 disciples, and this 12 disciples, they die off, they get beheaded, and now you got other disciples. They start multiplying, right? Then watch this. The impulse triggers the gate on the next cell to open, creating another charge. That's the I hope y'all are seeing this, man. That is how. Y'all see how beautiful this information is, even though I'm not even getting into the scriptures. Of course, the scriptures is perfect. But what we got to understand, that's why I like to bring out words. And I know I keep stopping because, like I said, this information is extremely deep. And it's exciting to understand that you can read through certain words that they use. All right. creating another charge. This another nation. There's another generation that's going to eventually charge through the 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 world to bring forth the true essence of that positive energy from the beginning that was dampened by Satan himself. Okay. And so on. In this way, an electrical impulse moves from a nerve. All right. So that's the way it moves. All right. So I'm just going to stop right there. I'm going to read this other excerpt right here. And it says, since everything relies on these electrical signals, right? These electrical signals, you know, you got nerves and things of that nature, how the body operates. Electrical signals and breakdown in your body electrical system. It is a real problem when you get an electric shock. Interrupts the normal operation of the system, sort of like a power surge. It's sort of like a power surge, right? Now, man, okay. This is what this is saying on a spiritual level. You ever notice when you see people that is demon possessed? Because some people don't understand that that is true. Okay. People say, oh, it's just their mind, but people don't understand the mind. So how can these doctors tell me anything about the body when they're practicing? How many years you going to practice? That means you don't know really too much about this body. Now, usually when a person is demon possessed, what is the first thing they did? What do they look like? Like they're getting shocked, right? A surge. Remember that. Let me just put this up. I don't want to get too hyped. Let's go to Jude chapter 1, verse 13. Okay. Jude chapter 1, verse 13. I hope you all have a pen and paper too, because it's going to be this is a very important. Now, let me tell you something. The stuff that I went through today, I see why. And I'll maybe get into that later. Jude chapter 1, verse 13. All right. And it says, raging waves of the sea, foaming out of their own shame, wandering stars, okay, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Okay. When you look at the word wandering, in the Hebrew, matter of fact, I'm going to go by exactly how I have it here. Let's first go to surge in the Greek, 2830. All right. 2830 in the Greek. Surge. And I'm going to show you this on the screen. All right. $28.30, as you see on the screen. Now, mind you, I told you about the electrical charge. What it says in this article, it says, since everything relies on these electrical signals, everything relies on the electrical signals, and breakdown in your body electrical system is a real problem when you get an electrical shock. It interrupts the normal operation of the system, sort of like a power surge. So this person is trying to put this in layman terms so you can understand the body, not knowing that he's talking, or whoever wrote this is talking on a deeper level than they probably understand. Okay, so when it says power surge, this is the word that you're going to get. All right. Now I'm going to type it in so you can understand that I actually did this. Okay. Okay. Surge. Now, I want you all to really pay attention to what it says here. That's the reason why I wanted to read Jude chapter 1, verse 13. It says raging waves. Now, what is this raging waves? We're going to get to that in a few minutes. All right. Now look at this here. All right. Remember that I said that Satan, when you go to Job, toss to and fro for the word surge. Is that a coincidence? No, it's not. Maybe for those that don't know that that's written in scripture, I'll just type it in so you can understand that this is how you can uh, just do what I just did here. And, and it tell you here, Job 7:4. When I lie down, I say, when shall I rise? And the night be gone. I am full of tossing to and fro unto the dawning of the day. And the reason why he's tossed to and fro, because even uh, Job was being tested by Satan. He was being, you know, let me just show you the scripture. Okay. Give me a minute. I'm jumping all over the place. And I want to make this clear. Okay, let's go to Job. Give me a minute. Give me 1 minute. I didn't have this jotted down, so I'm going all over the place real quick. That's all good. Job. 1 minute here. Give me a minute. All right, let's go to Job chapter 1. All right, and I'm gonna start at I'm gonna read it all the way. I'm gonna read it all the way through. All right, now Job chapter 1. It says, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright. Now you know that's positive energy, as we just read in this article, right? And one that feared God and eschewed evil, which means he shunned it. He was able to just stay away from evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons. You see how that precious number 7, and then that other number that's precious, 3 daughters. All right. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels. You see those big numbers, and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she asses, and very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. We understand that Christ is coming from the east. So we see this is the way you understand that anything that's going to come from the east is going to be perfect. We understand that Christ is going to be that perfect essence of the Most High that's going to come from the east. Verse 4, and his son went and feast in their houses every one of his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. Verse 5, and it was so when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continually. So we understand there's some sins that negative, you see that negative stuff going on, right? Just like the body, it's nothing different. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to presence themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. So at this particular time, Satan was allowed in the heavenly realm to, with the sons of the Most High, which are the angels. Verse 7, and the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Now this goofball, the falling angel Lucifer, is going back and forth looking for people to mess with. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and eschews evil? Now we understand that the story, I want to make this too long. We understand the story about Job. So now let's go back to the Strongs, okay, where it says toss to and fro. This is for the word surge. Now the reason why I'm bringing this out is because it's very clear in this. You got to understand what this article is saying here. I'm gonna read this article again, the part that's talking about surge, and it says, since everything relies on these electrical signals and breakdown in your body's electrical system, it is a real problem. When you get an electrical shock, it interrupts the normal operation of the system, sort of like a power surge. So I'm going to tell you folks that Satan himself understands the anatomy of your body. You understand? He understands you. That's why when you look at people when they're, you know, demon possessed or whatever, they look like they're having an electrical shock. Is that a coincidence? No, because you have raging waves here. Surge of the sea. You understand that it's talking about the sea, but what is this raging waves? Now, let's go to Jude. Now I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna post it here so you can see what I'm getting at. Okay, Jude 1, verse 13. Raging waves of the sea foaming out of their own shame, wandering stars. Is not talking about too much like waves too much now. See how things are kicking in? Raging waves of the sea. Okay. Then it says, wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. So they're going to be consumed. So now, let's just get something here. Let's go to wandering stars. Now, what is this wandering right here, right? You see what I see? Wandering. Erratic teacher. Rover. Planet. So what they're going to do is there are two. It's two types of definitions for this. First of all, there's no such thing as planets. That's another word that's made up by science. Second understanding of this, that these rovers is going to come to this planet, because that's why it says rover here. These demons or these spirits will fall to this earth, this planet, if you want to use that term, and cause man a power surge. They can interrupt your electrical systems to your brain to cause a demon possession. That's what you're reading, people. Decode the words. Understand how to decode the English language. Now, there's more. Of course, there's more. I've been studying this for about a year and a half. Now, you would not believe. Matter of fact, let me see if I could just pull this article up. Do I want to do that? Nah, it may slow up something. Give me a minute here. Let me show you something else that's very interesting. 1 minute here. All right. Cool. This is in that article, right? You see, I already typed it in a while back. Could blood be used to power batteries? This is what they're dealing with now. I'm really not going to go into all these articles. You all just saw what I typed up. This is what the article says about this madness. Okay, this is not my words. Now, the reason why I'm going all this total right, this route right here, excuse me, is based on the word electricity. They understand there's a genotype in the world that have a certain electrical system. You would say they have an electrical connection that's a little different than other people. Okay, period. This is what they're doing, and it says in this article, Panasonic is looking into using human blood to power electrical devices. I have to show this, man. Wait a minute, I want to show this. Panasonic is looking into using human blood to power electrical devices. It's researching how blood could break down sugars to generate power, like it generates energy for the human body. It's not my words, man. Okay. Now, let me just get into some other information about electric. Now, you have the word elect there. Okay, so I'm just going to start there. Elect, electricity, electricity. city, what people are scattered in cities, what people are the elect, but don't really know that they're the elect. They think they're African American. They think they're Hawaiians, Guatemalans, Guyanians, Negroes, right? Watch. There's more. I mean, this information is staggering. Okay, the way this is the Most High, allowed us to get this type of wisdom. All right, electricity. The body can produce about zero point 0.0 volts, excuse me, or you would say 10 to 100 millivolts of electricity. All right, so for the results, search for elect is Hebrew number 972. Okay, Hebrew number 972 is Bakir. Bakir. And it means select, choose, chosen, one, elect. Very easy. Just that's not too hard to understand. Now, what does election mean? That's Hebrew number 1589, and it's eklogé. Eklogé is divine selection, abstractly, hypothetically, or concretely chosen. You notice it says abstractly, abstract. I'm gonna have to put that up so we understand what that means. The definition for abstract. Okay, I'm gonna put that up so you can see it. The definition of abstract. I'm just doing all so you can be, this is like an online class, so you get all this information. You can write it down. You can do whatever you need to do to get this. Now we understand we just read, and it's talking about elect. So election definition in the Hebrew is Hebrew number 1589, which is ekleh, which means divine selection, abstractly, hypothetically, or concretely chosen, election. Now let's get this abstract real quick so we can understand the reason why that definition is saying that. Okay? Thought of apart from concrete. Realities. Is it kicking in? Realities, specific objects or actual instance. Expressing equality or characteristic apart from any specific object or instance, as justice, poverty. What does abstract has to do with poverty? Now let me just get a scripture. You come on now. Like I said, the Hebrew language is the oldest language, and every other word stems off of it. And I can guarantee you, when you start going into the English language and breaking down these words, it's going to link to the people that the Hebrew language was given to from the beginning. Now, you just ask yourself, what in the world does the word abstract have to do with poverty? I'm going to show you what it means. I'm going to show you the reason why that word links to it. So Revelations 2. Know thy works in tribulation and poverty. So the Most High is revealing this to John, the Revelator, to tell his people this. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. So the Most High's people are in poverty, but they're really rich. I want to stop right there in this parentheses. Watch this. Let's read the definition again for abstract. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it up in the Hebrew so you can see it. I have some other stuff there. I'm going to put in the number again for election, which is Hebrew number 1589. Okay? carry away. Hebrew number 1589. You see where it says carry it to deceive, carry away, indeed secretly, bring, steal, away, get by stealth. All right, and then I kind of skip, but that's okay. The Most High allowed me to skip. Abstract, I'm gonna get abstract again. Matter of fact, let's go to election, boom, 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 got you. Okay, chosen, election, abstract. Let's go back to abstract. So remember this, the way you say this word is right here. Ganab, a primitive root to thieves. By implication, to deceive, carry away. Okay? You don't think I'm making this up? Okay, Salaki is in the Greek. Chosen, election, extrapolate or concretely. Okay? Then that word is going to, this is going to lead you to the word in the Hebrew. And I apologize for this mistake. In the Hebrew, it's going to lead you to 1589. Okay? Which is the word ikplage, or which is election. And sometimes it doesn't have it set in the concordance. In this particular concordance, that's why a lot of people use blue letter. But I'm kind of savvy. I know how to work around it. But it means stealth, ganab, to thieve, literally to figure, by implication to deceive, carry away, indeed secretly, bring, steal. So we understand there is a particular people that was stolen out of their land. I know that works in tribulation and poverty, because our people is impoverished people, but thou art rich, because we have a rich history. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Okay? The synagogue of Satan now is in the land today, claiming to be the Jews, but they're not. We're not claiming anything. We're claiming everything else. We're claiming being Mexicans and Jamaicans and Africans, Americans, and all these cans. We're everything else, opposed to calling ourselves Jews. And once we understand that we are of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we usually call ourselves Hebrew or Israelites from the tribe of Judah, from this tribe. But we will go to the other nations and say, yeah, we are the true Jews, so they can understand and we won't be barbaric to them. Jew just was another name that the other nations gave in the New Testament. The Gentiles gave the tribe of Judah that name, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. They just called them Jews based on their language, and that's the way they understood these Hebrews. Okay, so based on this, and like I said, I apologize for not having all the definitions exactly the way I wanted to have it laid out. But when you read Hebrew number 1589, and it says, at 1589 in the Greek as well, abstractly or concretely chosen election. Okay. All right. So when you go to let's go to Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. Isaiah 42 and verse 22. This is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore. All right. So let's go to Jeremiah chapter 12. Go to verse 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour. So they assemble all the beasts of the field. They are come to devour. Many pastors have destroyed my vineyard. They have trodden my portions underfoot. They have made my pleasant portions a desolate wilderness. Because what's happening is they start following after their hearts of their vain, deceitful hearts. Okay. So we understand it says, my people are unto me like a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour. Okay. These speckled birds, of course, some people have an issue. There was one person that have an issue on understanding what the word speckled is. I'm not going to even get into what speckled is, but we understand that our people are scattered all over the world, and we kind of we look different. Okay, we are colored. That's why they call us people of color. We're that's why it says Ephraim is like a cake not turned. Okay. Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. So if you don't turn a cake, it's black on one side and light on the other. So sometimes Ephraim can look European at some points of his lineage. That's what people don't understand. Okay, the Ephraim is the tribe of is either the tribe of Joseph and whom we call today the Puerto Ricans. All right. But the Puerto Ricans, I'm talking about the original, ancient ones, the natives, the indigenous. Okay, they pretty much look like other people. Okay, like regular old African Americans. All right. Now, what I want to show now is myself. Give me a minute here. Okay, based on this information, I'm sure there's a lot that was said that you may have to go over, but it's okay because that's what videos are for. Now, what was very interesting is when I was looking up the definition for abstract, and it says existing in thought or as an idea, but not having a physical or concrete existence, abstract concepts such as love or beauty. Okay, so what people we understand has an abstract frame of mind about themselves. They do certain things, not knowing that they're actually following their foreparents at a certain level. And what I want to show is that is another scripture on that. Like I said, I know I've been doing a lot of jumping. What I'm doing is I'm breaking down the word election. Now, this election, of course, we understand that it comes from the word electricity. Then our people were scattered to cities. They know what they're doing. See, like I said, this may be a little tough for some people to understand. It's not this type of teaching is not for everybody. But I understand where they get that word from because it comes from the Hebrew language. You may not see the word electricity in the scripture or in the concordance, but I understand the reason why they use those words there. Electric. Then you have in the middle, if you want to put TRI, that's tri. That means three. And then you have the word city there. City represents where our people were scattered. That's what I'm trying to show you. That's how deep that word is. That's why when you look at the word election, and I know, like I said, I scrambled some of the definitions around, but it led me the way the Most High did it was he led me to what it actually represented. All right. Hebrew number 58, 1589 is eklege. All right. Selection, abstractly, hypothetically, or concretely chosen. Abstractly, which means you don't really understand. That's why I read the definition: existing in thought or as an idea, but not having a physical or concrete existence. Abstract concepts such as love or beauty. Like you have a concept of certain things. Okay, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Give me a minute. All right, so let's read Isaiah 42, verse 23. through 25. And it says, who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord he against whom we have sinned? So the reason why we were given to the spoil, to the robbers and as spoils, because we broke the Most High's commandments. And it says, for they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. You see that? Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and it hath set him on fire round about. Yet he knew not. You see where it says, yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. So we have the spirit of battle, like we have that strength of battle in us. That's why you see a lot of our people be shouting all up in the church, yeah, running all over the place. A lot of times that's just a bunch of energy, not knowing where it really comes from. But he laid it not to heart. He didn't take these commandments and follow it. That's a battle. We're warriors at heart anyway. So that's why you see a lot of our people, we're at rage. We look like we about to tear somebody's head off, but we laid it not to heart. That's why it says very clear, yet he knew not. He don't understand. It's an abstract understanding within you that you can't really figure it out why you act a certain way. All right, so let's go to Ezra chapter 9, verse 7. So we can understand this abstract concept such as love or beauty. Because love is supposed to have been towards the Most High. Okay, that's why that's the definition for the abstract. And that's why when you look up the word elect or election, it's not a coincidence that word election, we understand that the Most High chose the people above all people. Now let me show you what I'm saying. Give me a minute. One minute here. I got two things going on here. 1 minute here. And I'm pretty much done. I don't want to make these classes too long. All right. All right, let's go to Isaiah 45, verse 4. Isaiah 45, verse 4. And it says, for Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. You see that abstract understanding, like the Most High calling us. He surnamed us. He gave us a name, but you don't know him. You see that? We don't understand who he is. We don't understand who we are. All right. So let's go to Ezra chapter 9, verse 7. All right. So we can understand who the elect sake is. Who are the elect? The election. All right. Ezra 9 and 7. Since the days of our fathers have we been in a great trespass unto this day, and for our iniquities have we, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hands of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to captivity, and to a spoil, and to confusion of faces, as at this day. This is in scripture for us to forget our identity, to forget who we are. I'm gonna read it again because I know sometimes people, is that written in the Bible? I was reading something before, like, where you get that scripture from? Is this in the scripture? Yes. A lot of us don't read it. Ezra 9 and 7. Since the days of our fathers have we been in a great trespass unto this day, and for our iniquities have we, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hands of the kings of the lands. When it's talking about being delivered into the kings of the lands, it's actually talking about the diasporas all over the world. Our people, you got it posted it on Google, an Asian diaspora, how our people were scattered over there, how our people were scattered throughout the Americas, from Jerusalem to Africa, how our people were scattered from Egypt to the land of Canaan and all these different places, to scattered from during Syrian captivity away from the Syrians. We scattered over here. Okay, that's how we got over here in the Americas during that particular time. So that's why you hear the terms when you hear people say, well, black people were here already. We fled away from Syrian captivity. All right. In 70 AD, our people was running from Roman persecution in 70 AD from Jerusalem into Africa. That's how we got there. So when it talks about Ezra 9 and 7, since the days of our fathers have we been in a great trespass until this day. When they talk about trespass, talking about breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, period. And for our iniquities have we, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hands of the kings of the lands. To the sword, that means we were killed, slaughtered. We understand how slavery went. We understand what happened to the so-called North Americans. We understand what happened to the Haitians and the Jamaicans and all the other, our people all over the place. We understand how land was colonized, to the sword, to captivity, right? And to a spoil, which means now you're rotten for nothing. The Most High can't use you because you broke his laws to the point where, look at us, right? And to confusion of face. So now when you see a man up here, now the fight is, you ain't from the tribe of Judah. What is your haplogroup? Or what is your DNA, your Y chromosomes and all that? We got to go through all this stuff because we are confused of face. No other group have to be going all over the place trying to find out, taking DNA tests and all that. We are confused of face as at this day. Okay. All right. So let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 12. All right. And I'm going to end it here. I want to, give out too much information on this first class. Right. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 12. And it says, for now we see through a glass darkly. That's abstract. Okay. That abstract. And I want to say it very clear. When you look at the word election, you're going to get an abstract or hypothetically or concretely chosen, which means we don't understand. That's why when we look at the election in the Hebrew, eklogah is divine selection. These divine people were selected, but it's abstract now. That's what it's saying. Hypothetically or concretely chosen. All right. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly. That's what these classes are for. That's why I purposely named it wOrD decoder, because it all starts with the word first. That's why I wanted to read that article first. For we now see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. So, what is darkly? I'm going to put that up on the screen so we understand. It's going to lead you all the way back to the word that we were discussing earlier. I want you to see the definition. Okay. Darkly, right? Enigma, right? In its primary sense, an obscure saying, enigma, abstract. You see that? Obscureness, darkly. Okay. So now, I wanted this to be an hour. Of course, there's going to be, the next class is going to be, I'm going to do the class this Wednesday. Okay. I want to do it this Wednesday. That's going to be the next class. I'm going to cover the other part of the word electricity. That's going to be part 2, which will be city. All right. So if you all still would like to, support and, give a donation or whatever, it'd be much appreciated. Like I said, this takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to go through this information. It's going to empower you. It's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you're going to look at the world totally different. And that's why I wanted to read that article from the beginning first. that's actually breaking down the science, the scientific part of you, but it's really to the point where it's connected to the spirit. Like, for an example, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave. When it comes down to the reason why you gotta sleep, it's the same reason why you gotta charge a phone. There's no difference. If the phone is active, off the battery, eventually that battery is going to die out if it's not charged up. So what happens is when you go to sleep, you're laying, you're laying, opposed to being vertical, fighting like to stay up, you're actually laying horizontal so you can rest your body, so your brain can regenerate. So it can be a disconnection from, because see what happens is the spirit and the body fights. They don't really like each other too much. It's always a war. It's always a war between the two. So it's very stressful on the body. Because see, the spirit understands that you can do more than just walk around. You should be able to fly, you just jump up in the air and float somewhere. People don't understand that. Now, going to Genesis in Adam and Eve's time in one of these lessons to show you that they didn't have to toil and sweat at their labor the way they were doing, like what they were doing back then. There was a time they could just float about. They even actually put it in that movie, and I hate to bring up movies, but they always put out truth in movies. It was called the White Snake and the Sorcerer or some crap that they was showing. But anyway, they put out stuff in movies so you can just think, oh, that was some fake stuff. Nah, it's a battle between you and the spirit, because the spirit is from the Most High. That's in Ecclesiastes chapter 12. And there's a battle between. So what happens is once you sleep, there's a silver cord between the two. Now, I taught this a long time ago, and it floats away. That's why you dream. There's a cord between. Of course, if that break, you die. So that's why I said if the silver cord be loosened, okay, that cord connects like a cord that hooks up into a charger, to a battery, and it actually is able to charge itself. The difference is on the body part, you have to sleep and rest, and that charge you're charging your body based on the spirits being separated from you for a while. So that's why you can fly all over the place. And when you're dreaming, or I can be sitting here making a video in a dream and be at work in like 2 seconds. Like your mind can shift back and forth. And that's why when you wake up in the morning, you feel what you're supposed to, you feel generated. And that's the reason why. So I just wanted to put that out there. Like I said, that's not trying to, bring out some other information. Some people say, oh, that's philosophical. No, it's just true. Okay. And I'll show you in scripture one of these days, in one of these lessons. So hopefully you all enjoyed this first class. Like I said, this class is not going to be no more than 45 minutes to an hour. All right. So hopefully you all enjoyed. I'll be putting up the next lesson this Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. All right. This is my life, and I'll be doing this for the rest of it. Shalom.